All right, so I am recording now. And as I said before, the topic that I have, that I'm going to be talking about is expanding your network, which was something that I honestly think it should be another vital behavior, but it's not. But it's super, super, super important when we're talking about growing our businesses, because what it basically is, it's increasing who and how many people you're reaching on a regular basis. So it's not all those private messages, it's increasing your base of who are you reaching out to with your posts and who are you accessing online. Because let's face it, 99% of our business is online, because we can reach more people that way.
It was on a free.
Yeah. Got little visitors that might come back and forth and join me. So anyway, so the first thing that you need to do, because this group is focused towards newer coaches, is you really need to establish yourself on social media. Meaning you've got to start putting yourself in a position where you're sharing what you're doing with your fitness journey. Because if you're not doing that, but you're still reaching out and inviting people, they're not going to see the connection. Okay, they might, but it's going to be easier. There's going to be more people that are going to already be knowing this about you before you talk to them about it. Sharing about your fitness journey, or I shouldn't say immediately, but sharing about it on a regular basis, pretty much daily, is really important. So putting those posts out 2 to 4 times a day, one being a fitness post, one being some sort of inspiration, doesn't have to be fitness related, just something really positive, and 2, just lifestyle stuff, things that are part of your niche, things that kind of make you who you are, whether you're a teacher, because we have a lot of teachers in this group, a mom, if you're really into tennis, like I know Jessica's really into tennis, if you're really into wine, coffee, whatever. I know those are kind of silly ones, but just whatever you're into, and just like giving people a glimpse into your world. So, and I know that can be intimidating, especially like when I started, I was relatively active on Facebook, but not as much as I am now. I'm much more active on Facebook and Instagram now, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit, than I used to be. So yes, it is a shock to the system, so to speak, because it's not something you're used to, and people aren't going to be used to seeing that, but it's something that you're going to have to work toward. It's very important, because if you're not sharing with people what's going on, they're not going to make that connection. So I would say the top 3 social media platforms are Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. I use Facebook and Instagram. I have not crossed over to Snapchat yet. I've been talking about it, but I haven't done it yet, because I really feel like you have to master one social media platform before you move on to the next. And honestly, like I finally feel like I've gotten Facebook down. Not that it's super difficult, but I really wanted to get my like page figured out, and ads and all of that. And I feel like I've got a good handle on that. So now I've really expanded into Instagram. But again, Snapchat is up and coming. Well, it's here. I shouldn't say up and coming. So if that's your platform, that's great. But I would say Facebook is probably the number 1 and the easiest to start with. But, that's just something I want to put in there. So with that being said, it's really important, and I talked about this a little bit in the Zoom, but I want to touch on it again, because this is part of expanding your reach and figuring out who to talk to, is sort of planning your week out as far as what your big posts are going to be. Okay, so yeah, we're going to be doing a lifestyle post throughout the week and, sharing your fitness journey, like talking about your workouts or what your goals are or how you're doing with it, or some healthy food that you're making during the week or whatever it may be. But some other things that you want to have 3 big posts per week. So what I've been doing in this training that I've been in is they've talked about doing a Transformation Tuesday, a Throwback Thursday, and you don't have to call them that if you don't want to. It's just whatever. It's kind of been a thing, it seems like. And then Sunday, a call to action post. So Transformation Tuesday, it's sort of like a before and after of yourself. It doesn't have to be a like, I lost 10 pounds. It doesn't have to be one of those things. It can be something in your life that's changed. It could be something that's improved financially, physically, emotionally, whatever it may be. Be creative with it. It could be just from the summer, I just started this workout program and this is what the results have been. And then Throwback Thursday, kind of the same thing. On Sundays is the call to action. And I'm going to go more in specifics as to what that post should look like. And then I'm going to talk about what you do when people like or comment on those posts. Okay, so call to action posts are super important, and we say Sunday night because most of the time people are on social media Sunday nights, and most of the time people are totally dreading going to work Monday morning, and most of the time people have eaten like crap all weekend. So we've got a few things going for us, you know, people that are wanting to start fresh again, starting Monday, people that are not wanting to go to their job, you know, so we have a market of people that are likely, there's a lot of people out there that, you know, aren't happy with their job or their fitness level. So that's what we're here for, is to kind of provide or offer another way of looking at things. And so anyway, with the call to action post, you want to do a clean, nice photo of yourself. The rest of your week, the rest of your posts during the week don't have to be like pretty and stuff. They can be like whatever you're doing, you know, if you're sweaty after a workout, that's fine. But for the call to action post, make it a nice photo of yourself. You don't want dirty clothes on the floor, toys in the background. Make it like a nice background. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to be, what you say, calling out to their pain. Okay, that's kind of the way to say it. But an example would be like hitting the areas of like, have you struggled with, I wrote some notes down, having time to work out? Have you struggled with spending more time, you want to spend more time with your kids? Have you struggled with having money to pay for bills? Have you struggled with having too much debt or wanting to go on vacations? Whatever it may be, whatever you're trying to target for that. The second thing is you have to establish yourself as an expert and tell them that you have a step-by-step process for helping them. So with that being said, an example would be, now, and I know that many of you are new coaches, so it doesn't have to be like, oh, my life has transformed financially or anything like that. You could say something like, well, since I've started my fitness program, the X, Y, and Z has happened to me. And if you were to, whatever, join my challenge group, I would handhold you the whole way. And this, I provide a step-by-step process as to how to help you become successful and blah, blah, blah. You get the gist. So basically letting people know you've been through it, you've gotten through it, and you can help them move forward. Now, if you're talking about a call to action coaching post, it's the same kind of thing, but you're talking about helping them through, I don't know, learning what it's all about. I can't get my mind straight right now because I just had a baby crying in my arms for an hour and a half, but anyway. And then the third step with those posts is saying, imagine what your life would be like if, and then you paint a picture for them. And then the final piece is that call to action, saying comment below or whatever, put your email below, whatever you want it to be. So when someone likes those posts, those big posts, those call to action posts or the transformation post or an invitation post, your job is then to message all of them. Message all the likes. Okay, it's not just the comments. And it doesn't have to be like inviting them at that point. It could be like, thank you so much for liking my post. It's always, like I always say, it's always nerve-wracking when I put myself out there like that. So I so appreciate the support. Are you on a health journey as well? Now, if it's like a good friend of yours, you might word things differently. If it's someone you haven't been in touch with you kind of have to gauge it based on your relationship with that person. I'm now at the point where all of my people that I'm reaching out to are strangers because I've saturated my warm market. I'm now in a cold market. So I pretty much say the same thing every time. Are you on a health and fitness journey? And then if they say yes or no, I address it. I address that. And I talked about those scripts last week in the Zoom call. So watch that Zoom call, and I have all that information in there. And I actually Christy had asked me to type them out and put them in the group, and I will do that. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. So as far as, those likes, those are people that to already put on your list of people. Okay. So that's already telling you who you should sort of put on as leads, so to speak, people that you're going to start talking to. Obviously, other ways to add to your network is friend requesting, friends of friends, get on interest groups, like if there's a baby wearing group or whatever, or if there's something with a running club or something, get in those groups and start creating relationships that way. I haven't ventured that way yet, but I know a lot of coaches do that, and they make a lot of friends that way, and it's a good way to add more people to your network. I'm going to tell you how I have been recently adding more people to my network is, well, through Facebook ads on my like page. That's a whole nother call though, how to do Facebook ads. And I'm sure most of you have not created a like page yet if you're a new coach. So that can be addressed at another time, but I add people every day for my like page. But for newer coaches, Instagram. I'm telling you what, Instagram is a different animal than Facebook, and I love it because Facebook, people get finicky. If you message them, they're like, what are they messaging me for? You know, they get a little weirded out. Not all the time, but people tend to be a little bit more finicky on Facebook. Instagram, people love followers. They love them. More followers, the better. They love it. And so every day I will look up hashtags like right now, a lot of my hashtags are postpartum fitness, you know, something along those lines, something that I'm going through or what's going on in my life, Mama 4, you know, fitness journey, like wine lover, you know, those type of things. I'm looking for women that are like me. And then every day I look for 2 women to follow that look like they have some similarities to me. And I follow them. And then I immediately send them a message after I've looked at their page and say, hey, so-and-so, I absolutely love your Instagram page, and this is why. And I will then tell them why I love their page. Like, you know, I love, like most recently, the girl that I signed up as a coach, she was one of the girls I followed. She has a little baby, and she looked adorable. She's working on postpartum fitness, so I sent her a message. I'm like, your daughter is adorable, and she is adorable. And I'm like, I love that you're on a postpartum fitness journey like I am. Like, you know, what have you been doing? And that's all I did. And it started in Instagram people, if they respond immediately, like I have had like great success with it. Whereas people, new people on Facebook, they don't always respond to you because I think people think of Facebook as like your friends, people that you know face to face. Instagram, people want followers. So that is a really great way. And so I said, hey, do you have a Facebook page? Just because I love having positive people on my newsfeed. And she said, yeah. And so we connected up and we talked about coaching right away. So, but anyway, that's a good way to make connections on Instagram. I do that every day, and I've had really good success with it. With that being said, now that was a dream story, the girl Adele that I just signed up, she's awesome. That was like a dream. It was so quick. But the other way that I'm doing it is that I will message the person, and then I put them on like a follow-up list. So over the next week, I try to kind of keep an eye on their page, just see what they're doing. I'll like and comment on some of their posts, not all of them, because I don't want to be a crazy stalker. And then if I like what I see, I will then follow up with a message, a call to, like a coach invitation, and say, I know this might sound weird, but I don't know if you know this or not. And this is after I've, you know, had that initial communication with them. I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm a health and fitness coach, and I feel like we have a lot in common or whatever. Have you ever considered doing something like I do? You know, something along those lines. And then, or you say, I've been watching you for a while. Have you considered doing what I do? And that's also a really good way to make an invitation to the coaching opportunity. And a lot of top coaches do that. And so I'm copying what they're doing, quite frankly. So And then the other way to make more connections on Instagram is Instagress. And I posted a video in Team All Stars about that, how Instagress will basically follow people for you in your target market. And also it will like things for you, which I don't know how I feel about that, but it's kind of cool. It will set up however you want it to be. And I've done it, and I'm still kind of tweaking mine around because I've gotten some weird ones. But I just kind of sift those out as I go along. But it's really helped grow my network a lot. And so that's a good way to expand your network there. So check out that video if you're on Instagram and you want to go through Instagram. I just feel like Instagram is, for me right now, is my jam. The next thing is, as far as finding people, is you really need to sit down and think about who would your dream team be. Now, I'm not talking just coaches or just potential challengers. I'm talking all of the above. Who are the people that you would love to connect with, that you would either love to help because you've seen on their fitness or on their page that they've struggled with health and nutrition, or maybe they just had a baby, you know, because most women, 99% of women, that have had a baby are looking to lose baby weight. So make a list of all the people that you could potentially see as prospects for you as a challenger, or maybe even a coach. And we already want you to start thinking about potential coaches, because if you're serious about this business, you're going to be adding coaches to your team eventually. So we want you to start thinking about that. Who are those people you love to work with? Who do you have a lot in common with? So kind of make a list, maybe make 2 lists. Make a coaching list, people, potential coaches who you'd love to have on your team, and then a list of people that you would love to have as challengers and potentially get them to be coaches in the long run. So once you make that list, what I would want you to do is just start, you know, checking out their pages more often, get more involved in commenting or liking posts that they put out there. Show that you're interested and make it genuine, like you genuinely want to be interested. And then send them a message, and it just, hey, I know this is really out of the blue. Like, I've done this before with people that I graduated college from. I know this is super out of the blue, but I saw this on your page. You just went on a vacation. Like, tell me about your vacation. That looked so fun. I would love to go there, or something. You know, it's just reconnecting with people. That's how I started my business completely, was just connecting. Like, I did not really invite a whole lot in the beginning. I relied a lot on my posts, and I just connected with people every day. Like, hey, how's it going? Tell me about your new baby, or, you know, congratulations on just getting married, or whatever I'm noticing on their page. So even to this day, though, the people that I'm quote unquote targeting, or the people that I would love to have on my team or as challengers, I've created a interest list. I don't know if you know how to do that on Facebook, but on the left hand side of your Facebook page, there's a way to create an interest list. And so I have an interest list called Fitness Prospects, and people that I would love to become a challenger or a coach, I plop them in that group. So when I want to go and like on all these people, I don't have to sift through my news feed, which can be really lengthy now that I have so many friends. You know, I just go to my I click on that, and then I just see their posts. And so I go through and I see what they're doing, and I comment and I like on just their stuff. And so I don't have my coaches on there, you know, and I don't have like my current challengers on there. It's just people that I want to be. So that's another way to create those relationships and reconnect. And the next thing is there is huge power in free groups, free challenge groups, like free clean eating groups, squat challenges, water challenges, whatever it may be. So talk to your coach if you were interested in getting involved with a free group, unless you're like feeling really ambitious and you want to do it yourself. But when you provide things that are free, you are creating trust with people and value for people. And then they know that you're in it to help others, that you're not just in it to make money. But at the same time, when you get people involved in one of those free groups, you're starting to get them in a health and fitness journey, and many times they don't want to stop. So it's a good way to create leads for yourself as well, and also just helping others. So that's also a really great way to kind of start out. If you're not sure where to start, it would be to offer one. And I try to do them once a month. I'm going to be honest, I only did one this summer, and I'm in the middle of it. Well, I guess it's not summer anymore. So I didn't really do one this summer, and I should have. But my goal is to do one every month, at least a 1 week group. Oh, my husband's home. My God. So anyway, so those are my tips as far as expanding your network. And the reason why we do it is because we constantly need to be growing the people that we're reaching and finding new people to talk to. Another good thing to do on the weekends is create a list of the people you're going to talk to for the week, because all of us, I think probably 99% of us in here are working in the daytime or have other obligations during the day. And so it's not always easy to kind of strum up a few people to talk to. Make a list and then just, talk to, if on Monday, tick off the top 3 and, and then on Tuesday, go down the list. So it's a good way to kind of keep yourself organized. I typically use Sundays. Well, I'm not working right now, but once I go back to work, Sundays are like my organization days. I plan out my whole week. I know when I'm going to be working. I know like who I'm going to be talking to that week, my challenge groups, all of that kind of stuff. So that's really just a little tip of mine, and it helps your week go a little bit smoother. So I don't know, Christy, if you have anything else you had to add, some ideas as far as expanding your network or anything else in general.
No, I did try that Instagram, and it was crazy. Like all these people started liking, and then all of a sudden, even people were liking my posts. Like I could see these other people liking my posts. I had a hard time because I was on the go, and so I had a hard time then connecting with them. So I need to go back and send those messages. And I did have somebody reach out to me and send me a message because she does some kind of something. So I tried to steer clear of like It Works people. Like I got a couple of those and stuff like that, but it worked. So I just did the 3-day thing. So I need to go back in and maybe refine it because there were some weird ones that I got, so it's just, I got to learn, but it definitely works. And yeah, the follow-up thing on, I liked your ideas on the interest list. I didn't ever know that you could do that. So that's, I think, a good one for new coaches that would keep you organized as far as messaging people. Because that's what I struggle with too, as far as who do I need to, be checking in on, and yeah, so those are very helpful.
Yeah, I always tend to forget about the fact that like a good way to connect with people is just getting on their page and checking out what they're doing. It doesn't have to be just having private conversations with them or whatever, although you want to be doing that too. But for a long time, I was just doing that. I wasn't getting on people's pages. And I found that once I started getting more engrossed on their pages, that I created better relationships with people. And, it's a simple thing to do. Once I did the interest group thing, that made it a lot easier. Right.
What is that format that they say when you comment on someone's post, like a question, and then
oh yeah, it's called hold on, I have it written down right here. I feel like I'm getting sick. I've got my throat is sore. Where's it at? I have it here. It's like a compliment.
Yes, comment, question.
Yep, exactly. Comment, compliment, question equals conversation. So anytime you talk to someone, obviously you want to start with the positive. Comment obviously show that you've read what they're, doing. So you want to compliment, comment, and then ask them a question. And anytime I have a conversation with someone, I always end with a question so that the conversation continues. Too, because if you don't, oftentimes you won't get a response, and then the conversation dies. So that's another thing. And also another way to kind of grow your network is seriously think back to like childhood. Who are the people you've been affiliated with? Think about like hairdressers and, you know, and honestly, you know, sports teams you've been on, obviously like sororities and all that kind of stuff. Anything, and make a list. If you're not friends with them on Facebook or following them on Instagram, or if you're into Snapchat or whatever it may be, do it. You know, I don't think people are weirded out by that, because I think it's cool to reconnect with old people from my past. And so I think it's neat when someone like I used to play with when I was 5, because now I have a girl, she's one of my challengers. We were like best friends when we were 5 years old in the neighborhood, and she moved away to Ohio. Now we're friends again on Facebook, and I think it's super neat. And I don't think people are weirded out by that. So I think it's good to do those type of things. So make that list, and I think that's a big one. So I don't know. Does anyone have any questions or thoughts? Stephanie, do you have any other ideas? Because you've been in it for a while too.
No, I liked Instagram, but like Christy said, I think I need to learn how to screen people, because I got some weird, and I had people contacting me, but wanted to put me on some older moms list. I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't know what the heck that was all about. So I think I need to learn how to screen people out. But in one day, I think I got like 50 new followers, like in one day. I was like, so there's got to be somebody in there that's worth, following up with. So I might do the 30-day thing just to kind of test it out and see what I think.
I bought the 3-month package. I did get some weirdos in there, but I blocked them, and like I had to report one of them.
I had a lot of people from
I
other
was like,
countries.
oh, I need to screen this better, but
Yeah, I needed to look through. When I set it up, I kind of did it fast. I wasn't really following what Josh had said, and there was a lot of people from other countries and stuff in there. A lot of weird. But I think once you figure it out, I think it's going to be good.
Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah, I've only had a few strange ones, and it is going to make me be a little bit more cognizant of what I post with my children.
Right.
So that's something to kind of keep in mind when you're starting to open your world up to strangers, essentially. Right. Just kind of something to be aware of. But I do think when we're trying to open up to a cold market, these are things we have to do.
Right.
And I would say 99% of the time we're fine. But we just kind of have to be aware of those things.
Right.
But yeah, I think playing around, it's super easy though.
Oh, it is.
Finding the right demographics and things like that. But yeah, I'm like totally loving Instagram lately, which I guess I never really truly understood Instagram until like lately. And so it's just made a huge difference for me. But
are you doing Snapchat at all?
No.
I haven't gotten into it, and I know the people that do it, they're really good at it, but it just feels weird to me. Like it doesn't seem natural to me. So
yeah, I feel like I need to like I said, I need to like master what I'm doing before I get on another.
Right.
Platform.
I agree.
And I mean, my daughter, I have a Snapchat. My daughter plays with the filters, but that's about as far as I know. I think she knows how to work it. I should ask my niece, my 16-year-old niece. That's all she does.
Olivia knows how to do it. I mean, I don't. I have to.
But I find it weird, But I guess it's the next thing, according to Gary Vaynerchuk. So, but right now, I still know Instagram's huge. Facebook, of course, is huge. So I'm going to stick with those for right now. But yeah. All right. Well, if anyone doesn't have any questions, then we'll just wrap it up for tonight. I hope this was helpful, but check out the Zoom from last week from this group. And then I also did a Zoom last Wednesday. I'm losing track of my days. I think it was last Wednesday. It's posted in Team All-Stars. And I shared all the information from the training that I'm doing. I love the training that I'm doing. I'm so happy that I paid the $100 to be in it, because I feel like it's paid me back in dividends. So check out that Zoom as well, and hopefully that will be helpful. And we're rounding up the last week of our group, so we have a few more videos you'll be listening to. Hopefully it's helpful. And then at the end, we'll kind of talk about where do we go from here, and like wrapping up loose ends as you guys move forward with your businesses. So we will see you all tomorrow. I don't know what the topic is tomorrow. I don't have my book in front of me, but tomorrow I'll be doing a video on something. I don't know if you know what it is, Christy, but we have 4 more days, and then we'll talk about where do we go from here. So, all right, everyone, I am going to sign off and see if my baby's still crying, because I basically had to lay him down and let him cry because he was crying. So I'm sure my husband got him by now. So anyway, enough of that. Have a good night. I'm going to stop recording, and I will see you all in the group.